the multitude of modern cubing hardware, we have seemed to left out predecessor cubes as heroes of old. What's poppin', guys? Today, we're going to take a look back at the DaYan GuHong version 2. The GuHong version 2 was released to succeed the version 1 and came out in 2012 at a range of $12 in price and 57mm in size. The cube comes with vinyl stickers in standard shades, though unfortunately they appear dull and are easy to chip. The turning of the cube is smooth, reminiscent of butter. It sounds slightly clacky, but not as fast as other cubes are. Also feels kinda blocky too. Corner cutting can reach up to almost 45 degrees and reverse half a piece when tensioned, though it is also not up to par to today's cubes. Popping is also not an issue, unless you like your cubes loose. I quit. However, this performance has been a far cry from where it began. Now out of the box, the cube was very slow and, not to mention, very tight. To see the reason of the cube's performance, let's take a look inside. The DaYan GuHong version 2's core was, as of its time, like no other. The core was round and not blocky like much older cubes. And centers are also in contact with the milky core, making lubing the core important to its performance, because although it moves well, it is still not as fast. The edges and the corners define the GuHong for what it is. Rounded and smooth, unlike much older cubes that were still very blocky, and no tracks, meaning not much speed, and torpedoes, the most defining part of the cube, of the version 2 specifically, to reduce popping, just as the Zanchi had, and other DaYan cubes. The corners were a 3-piece design, and it looks basic, but still rounded compared to older, more blocky cubes. Not to mention Florian cuts around the corners, which has become its main reason for reverse corner cutting. Overall, the cube is absolutely excellent in every aspect, if you've been cubing in the early 2010s, but even today, it is still decent in performance, at least much better than Rubik's brands and V-cubes. One can still get decent times with this, though it definitely will be slower than average, due to lack of speed and its overall blockiness, unless that's your thing. Should you buy it? Definitely, if you're looking into it for collection purposes, but as a main, you can find other modern budget options that will outperform it by a whole mile. Not to mention that this cube is almost 7 years old in design, and even a few years after its release, it has been very much outclassed by the Zanchi, then by the Moyu Weilong, and absolutely destroyed by today's modern magnetic cubes. In the midst of the flood of modern cubes, the GuHong version 2 has now been left in the dust, even by DaYan's latest cube, the DaYan. At most, forgettable performance. But what will never be forgotten is its outstanding impact of its time, and the cube, though its second version, that changed cubing hardware as we know it.